Greetings everyone, my name is Buck Business. Konnichiwa, I'm Kawaii Critic, and today we're here to review My Little Pony Season 7, Episode 16, Campfire Tales. So, as the name implies, we begin this episode with, well, camping, as Rarity-san, Apple-san, and Rainbow-san bring their sisters, since Scootaloo-chan is, I suppose, officially the sister of Rainbow Dash San, in a way. Anyways, it would turn out that Scootaloo-chan is still very afraid of camping and all the things that could go wrong out there. At any rate, we see that Rarity has improved from the last time they at least went camping, being able to pack less items, that is. But as they're getting ready to get set for their little campfire, they're swarmed by these bug-like creatures called flyers. So they end up running in a cave, and after a few minutes of discussion, or a few seconds, they decide that they're each going to tell a story. So we begin with Apple-san, who tells the story of Rockhoof-san. And the style of these ponies is very Viking-like. And this Rockhoof-san fellow was very weak, and the story kind of reminded me of How to Train Your Dragon, how you have that very weak character, and then, well, that character ended up being a dragon and then becoming super cool. But in this case, there was a volcano, and then he was like trying to shovel off this trench, and then ended up becoming super big because magic, I guess, and then ended up plowing enough distance to make sure that the volcano's path would be set into the water. So after we get that story, we move right into, after a few moments, Rarity-san's story. And I know this must excite you, as this story takes a lot of, well, Japanese influence, it would appear, or Asian influence. I'm not sure exactly where it would be located, but we can safely assume that it's some sort of Asian culture, as they even include an empress, and the very style of their clothes is very, again, Asian in culture. Yes, I'm so excited. It's about time that we got some culture in that respect. It reminds me of the homelands. Anyways, we get introduced to Miss Main, and she was this sorceress pony, and on top of them being assumed for now, until told otherwise, that these are Japanese ponies, that she was this pony who had a friend. I don't believe I remember her friend's name, but her friend became empress by force, and they used their magic. And interestingly enough, their horns were all tilted, and it seemed like they are all unicorns, I believe, in this area. But anyways, the two end up facing off, and Miss Main and her opponent use magic, and they end up uh, making these snakes, or snake dragons, I believe they were, uh, to beat each other out. And I believe, if I remember hearing correctly, the other pony's name was Sable something or rather. At any rate, she beats Sable, and then she goes off to make this flower, but she sacrifices her own looks to do this. And also that is what ends up helping out Sable, and in return Sable ends up continuing to rule this land with a majestic type of nature and making sure to take care of everyone. In the end, we end with Rainbow Sun's story, and Scootaloo-chan still freaking out because the bugs are getting in, so she blocks off the path. So she's freaking out. So Rainbow Sun decides that she's going to tell the story of Flash Magnus-san, I believe his name was, and their look seems to be inspired by the Spartans or something along those lines. Anyways, they end up flying into this dragon's nest, and we get a very Torch-san character, only without the armor. Anyways, the dragons are in their path, so the Splash Magnus-san guy decides that he's going to be this distraction, so his higher up decides to give him this shield that is flame proof. So Flash Magnus-san continues to be the distraction as the other ponies are able to fly past the cave. So after they fly past it, they are able to, with the higher ranked ponies' help, they're able to create this storm and lead the dragons into that to make them fly away. So after all that, they decide that they have to go deeper into the cave in order to get out. They end up making it to this waterfall and end up out where I think where they wanted to go. I'm not sure if they mentioned wanting to be in this. I believe it's called Wind Cell Falls. I'm not sure if that was their intended location, but that's where they end up. And the CMC claim that they want to stay and further enjoy their uh, little get together. So, that is the recap. And this episode was very interesting, as it does take a look at more, well, I suppose I'll say folklore, since these are more story based rather than maybe actual events. But it is also interesting to get these different locations, and of course, our favorite being the one of the Japanese variety. But the other stories were also just as interesting as well, as we get to see what these ponies look up to as far as who they look up to in these legends. And with that, there wasn't really much wrong with the episode, I suppose. Although I guess the only weird thing I was thinking about is, can Rarity teleport? I mean, they were in the cave, and I don't know if Rarity is able. I don't know if her magic is able to make things teleport, including her and the group as well. I don't know if her or Scootaloo's magic is. Sorry. Uh, Sweetie Belle's magic is that strong yet to make them able to teleport, but other than that little nitpick or whatever you want to call it, this episode was fine. And with that, that'll be the end of this review. Stick tap, ting tong tori. So, if you enjoyed this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. But until next time, everyone, farewell.